So, Randy, why are we here? Why is this your favourite place in Edinburgh?
Well, this pub, Greyfriars, Bobby, is I walk past here every night on my way home after the show, and it's sort of closest pub to my house, and which is convenient for the stagger home afterwards. And I find myself out the front looking at. Do you know the story of Bobby, of the dog? Do you guys know the? Does anyone know the story of the dog?
Tell us.
Well, I think it's. The story goes that this dog sat by his master's grave for like 14 years or something ridiculous like that, and I find myself sort of standing looking at this dog, and it encapsulates the sort of the loyalty and the dedication that I myself lack, I think, in my daily life, and so it always sends me in here for a scotch. And that's why I like it here, because it sort of holds up a bit of a mirror to my own sort of inadequacies, which is exciting for me, because it's nice to sort of to be able to have your faults laid bare, so you can work on improving them at some point or another.
It is pretty early in the morning to be hitting the whiskey. Have you got sorrows to drown?
Oh, look, there's always a sorrow to drown. It's funny because the show that I'm doing here, Randy's Postcards from Purgatory, is the name of the show, and it's sort of the subject matter is all about sort of the failure of my marriage and my attempt to run a children's entertainment agency while sort of trying to stay off the piss. But the thing is, because I do it every night. Like, things have I've sort of moved on, from that dark period in my life. But because I'm doing the show every night, it sort of drags it all back up for me. Just drags it back up. So I end up sort of feeling a little bit worse for wear post-show, as it were. And then, so I come down here and I have a few drinks, and they're lovely staff here, they're good eggs. They're not, some of the bars around here are just full of tools, and the bar staff are pretty friendly, and I prefer this, and it's also because you don't necessarily feel like there's a good vibe here and stuff during the festival in this pub, but you don't necessarily feel like you're at the festival, it's sort of that thing of I could spend all night drinking at the venue bars, trying to pick up 16-year-old door staff, or I could come here and have a whiskey and remind myself that I'm not, stuck in this festival kind of cog of shit.
Do you find it hard to get served in town as a puppet? Do you find there's anti-puppet discrimination?
Well, it's funny, occasionally that will come up. Occasionally I will get knocked back based on my appearance for a drink or for. It's usually the nightclubs though, that sort of go, oh, not wearing that, mate, kind of thing, which is which is fine with me because I don't often frequent those sort of venues anyway. So. You know what else I like about this pub is that the lights, the bar lights, they look like, the little ones that you get on the wires, those really hip new ones, they look like giant versions of them. So I feel sometimes when I'm really pissed, here, have a drink, I look up and feel like I've shrunk. And it freaks me out. Freaks me right out. So I have to go out and stand next to Bobby and have a cigarette and again ponder the farcical nature of my existence.
You mentioned a drink problem. How is it now? How you got it in check?
I think I've got it in check. Yeah, I mean it's hard not to be a pisshead in the middle of the Edinburgh Fringe Festival. I don't know. I actually, when I first got here, I went like 5 days without any excessive drinking, and then realised that was just stupid. Because I've always had that. It's a difficult thing to get your head around what sort of attitude you should have towards drinking, because it's a drug and because it's, it's destructive and bad for you and all that sort of stuff. It's sort of torn between this kind of need to feel sort of numb and drunk and this sort of also guilt that sort of relates to the fact that I'm destroying my own liver. Does that make sense? Is that just it's just a pretty common attitude, I think. I think everyone enjoys a drink. Well, not everyone. I mean, I'm not pointing, it's cool if you don't, like whatever. But a lot of people, it's an important part of their life, drinking. And it's socially and all of that sort of stuff. So, boring answer, yes, but kind of true.
And just finally, you thought if this is too painful, it's fine, you're not to talk about it. But your relationship with your wife and your ex-wife, how has that sort of resolved itself at all, or not?
In so much as she doesn't really talk to me anymore, it's resolved itself. Yeah, I think it's difficult, you know, like you forge this relationship with someone, and your entire sort of world revolves around your existence as a couple. And I mean, Polly, her name is my wife. She gave me so many, like she taught me so much and gave me so many opportunities in life. I wouldn't be here if it wasn't for her. She was working for this sort of hip new fashion skateboarding, parkour, textile exhibiting graphic design magazine called, and that's how I ended up. She got me a gig working in television because she was working with this photographer who hooked me up with this gig. And then from there, that's how I ended up doing children's parties and stuff later on. So I can trace back all of my greatest successes in the last 10 years, not that you could call them huge, but to her kind of thing. So she's intertwined in everything that I do. So not being with her anymore is difficult. But yeah, she fucked my best friend. So, you know, what are you going to do?
Well, listen, Randy, thanks very much for taking time to have a chat with us today. And if you want to carry on and crack into the booze, that's...
Do you mind? Because I think it's probably about that time of day. I'll just get stuck into some whiskey. You want to join me? You want to join me for a drink? Anyone? Anyone want a drink? No. Too early. Soft cocks, come on. Let's get this party started. No. Fair enough. Just me then. Thanks for having me on.